Oh, I've got a slow puncture. And it's got worse, and it was dead flat. And I'm running late, and now I'm running even jolly well later. Oh, and I didn't put fuel in last night. Right, let me just clean the windscreen. There we go, should be okay now. Feels a little bit colder. Let's have a look. And it is 10 degrees C. Oh, I have got range though, 81 miles in range, so we're okay. We're okay, I'll be fine. Right, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I have been given a subject to discuss, but it won't take long. I described, let me get this right, apparently it's a northeastern delicacy, a corned beef pie served cold. Now, I described that as resistible. Was I right to do so, or am I missing out on a culinary treat? Let me know your thoughts. Oh, something else that came up on the live stream last night, might as well quickly mention it now. Somebody has offered their services as a cameraman, potentially. What do you think about that idea? It would mean that I could do things like food reviews, which I quite fancy doing. But anyway, there you go. Right, other than that, it occurred to me that I promised, when I did the Q&A thing, I promised I would answer every question that was asked. And I didn't, because I'm rubbish. I'm really badly organised and stuff. So I've grabbed a couple of questions that I will answer them all. But that's it, you stay there. Thank you. I can pull out in front of this car. There we go, marvellous. Yeah, but I've got a couple of questions that I will answer now. Right, first one. When you sit down on the lavatory, can you tell how cold and deep the water is? Well, that's a very quick and easy answer. No, absolutely not. Not even remotely close. There you go. Right, the other one from my mate. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I see, there was a chap with a dog. Oh, fair enough. My mate Paul Cooper, we've been friends for 25 years or something like that. He's a good mate of mine. He had a question. Well, he's got lots of questions, the bugger. He was in America when I posted that. But one of his questions was, when did you first realise that you were gay? Right. Don't worry, darlings, this is not a coming out of the closet video. I've never realised that that I'm gay, because I'm not gay. I absolutely wouldn't mind if I was. I very much enjoy the company of gay people. And yeah, one of my best nights out ever was at the Flying Handbag, a gay pub in Blackpool, followed by the Pink Flamingo, a gay nightclub in Blackpool. That was a cracking night, but I am 100% straight. You cheeky so-and-so, Paul. But interestingly, well, you might think it's interesting, you might not. My mother was utterly convinced that I was gay when I was a teenager. Absolutely, utterly convinced. Do you know what? That's just given me a title for this video, hasn't it? Pure clickbait. Look, when you film just a driving to work video, same roads every night, with you just talking crap, you need clickbait titles. Otherwise, no bugger will watch. Now, admittedly, when they do watch, they don't like it. But it's too late then. I got the view and they'll have watched an advert. So, yeah, that'll be it. What a great title for this video. When did you first realise that you were gay? I did a video earlier this year. And probably a lot of you have watched it, because whenever I get a glut of new subscribers, they have a look through your back catalogue, and there's always a couple of videos that get watched, and one of them is this one, and it was called My Plans to Embrace My New Gay Life. That did really good views, earned a bit of money, and you know, that wasn't actually clickbait, because that was really a thing. It's too long to explain. So if you've watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've not watched it, go and watch a video called How I Plan to Embrace My New Gay Life, or something very similar to that. And that will explain it. But yeah, the title for this video, it's got to be, when did you first realise you were gay? I'll get views then. I'll definitely get views then. And I'll have to find a thumbnail picture where I look vaguely curious, as I believe they say it. But yeah, I'm not gay. But my mother was convinced I was when I was a teenager. Utterly, utterly convinced. And it became her life's mission. She felt that she was failing as a parent because I wasn't able to tell her that I was gay. And she tried everything to convince me that, you know, it's all right. It's absolutely fine. Your dad and I, we will always love you. You will always be our son. And of course, and I just kept that, Mum, I'm not gay. Mum, I'm not gay. And this went on for years. Now, the reasons behind that. When I was a teenager, I was an athlete. Well, it's a combination of things. I was an athlete, and in those days there was the old women weak and legs thing. You don't have anything to do with women when you're an athlete. If you were married, if you were a professional cyclist in those days, and you were married, or you know, you had a girlfriend or whatever, they were not allowed anywhere near you for a month before a major event and a week before a minor event. That's how kind of draconian and whatnot it used to be. Now, of course, most people ignored this. Me, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, I didn't. I just had nothing to do with women. I was also incredibly shy and incredibly unconfident. I didn't think that a woman would, or a girl would ever be interested in me. I had a massive inferiority complex. Personally, as an athlete, I was arrogant, and I had bloody good reason to be arrogant. I believed that I was the best in the world at what I did, and for a time I was. And that means that you're entitled to be arrogant. But personally, I had a massive inferiority complex. So I didn't think a girl would ever be interested in me. Not for a second. So as a teenager, I just didn't go there. And yeah, my old man, who kind of understood my insecurities, we'd be out somewhere together, training usually, because my dad was one of my coaches. He was my first coach, and he always coached me to some degree throughout my career. And we'd be out, and it'd kind of say, did you see the way that girl was looking at you? And I go, no. Now, looking back, I was a really good looking kid. I mean, I was deeply tanned, I was handsome, and I had an incredible body. Why wouldn't a girl look at me? You know, I was tall, still am tall, but honestly, as a teenager, I didn't see it because of that total lack of confidence. Never saw it and wouldn't have acted on it even if I had seen it. So, if you, so there was I had nothing to do with girls, and I think that's why Mum thought I was gay, because I had nothing to do with girls. There might have been other personality traits, like, you know, generalisation things, like, you know, I was tidy, I was kind, I wasn't overly macho, I was intelligent, you know, some things that are rightly or wrongly associated with homosexuality. But I think the main thing was just the lack of girls. And for years and years and years, she tried to convince me that it was okay. And then at the age of 21, having, you know, retired from my athletic career and whatnot, I suddenly realised that actually girls are very interested in you. And that was a hell of a realisation. And I just filled my boots, basically. I made up for lost time. And when my mother, especially when I was still living at home, when my mother, it took her a while to learn not to open my bedroom door without knocking. And like on the 4th day running, when she came into my bedroom in the morning with a cup of coffee, yes, I was Mummy's little chocolate soldier. And she saw the 4th different girl in 4 nights in my bed. She suddenly decided, he's not gay at all. He's a rampant little bastard. And suddenly the talk changed from, it's okay to be gay, you can tell me. The talk suddenly changed to, will you stop shagging everything that moves? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, but I thought, one thing I probably haven't talked about, as we know, I am ridiculously open, notoriously indiscreet. But I think the one thing I haven't talked about in depth is my love life during my time as a YouTuber. I've talked about the past, exes, all sorts, but I'm not sure that I've talked about the present all that much. And another question prompted this. I can't remember who asked it. Was it? No, I can't remember. It's one of the regulars. It's one of the inner scrotum, one of the live stream community. I do remember that. And the question was, is there anybody within your YouTube community to whom you would like to administer an almighty podgering? And I thought, well, that's interesting. That is interesting. And it prompted me to think, because during the entirety of my YouTubing, I almost said YouTube journey then, and I fucking hate that. That is the ultimate wank word or wank phrase. I detest it. Although it does kind of work. I mean, career is just as bad. You can't call making shit videos and getting drunk on a live stream a career. Earning £2.60 every 2 months. But during the entirety of my YouTubing, let's put it that way, I've been single. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever spoken in depth about what may or may not be going on behind the scenes, as it were, because, you know, some things are private, but I don't really do that, do I? I'm a blabbermouth. As long as, you know, it's not betraying anybody else's secrets or hurting anybody's feelings, I just tend to whack it out there. So I might as well do that with this. So, what has been the state of my love life since I started YouTubing? Well, there's kind of been absolutely nothing to report. Sad as that may seem, or unsurprising as that may seem. Since I started YouTubing, I haven't even been on a date. Not one single date. Now, if I'm being open and honest, then in the relatively early days of YouTube, I had, I don't know, what do people call it? Do they call it a situation or a situationship or something? I had an old friend, and we had, I believe they call it a friends with benefits situation going on. In other words, for a period, we would meet up every week or every other week or thereabouts, and quite frankly, there would be fumbling and thrashing about. Now, I apologise for that use of language there. I understand that it, but yeah, I mean, call a spade a spade. That was what it was about. You know, we were friends. We'd never been in a relationship. We were never going to be in a relationship, but the beastliness kind of worked. So for a period when neither of us were romantically involved, we would meet up for, again, forgive me for the explicit language, but we would meet up for a session of fumbling and thrashing about. And very nice it was too, if you enjoy that sort of thing. And, well, quite honestly, I do. But then there came a point where that kind of petered out. I think I'd come to the realisation that my feelings toward things had changed, and as I've spoken about before, intimacy became a different thing for me, and I craved the intimacy of time with somebody that I thought was special, that I liked, and that somebody that thought that I was special and who liked me. And I craved that intimacy more than I craved the intimacy of the hurly-burly of the chaise longue. Again, please excuse the explicit reference. So that just kind of came to a halt, and that's still the same situation now. It's a different kind of intimacy that I crave. I spoke about it on the video. You know, the fantasy changed from being in a large bedroom with the entire Brazilian beach volleyball team. The fantasy changed to just walking down a street in Llandudno on a summer's evening with somebody that I thought was fabulous and who thought that I was fabulous, simply holding hands and enjoying a shared moment. Bloody hell, age, eh? Age, and, you know, when you get older, you become less testosterone driven, I suppose. Now, over the time on YouTube, there has been flirtation. That's natural, but it's been mostly online. Well, it has been online flirtation, and it's all been done tongue-in-cheek and in jest from both sides. I don't think, and this is going back to well, it's reversing the question, is there anybody in my YouTube community that I would like to blah blah blah? Reversing that, I don't think that over the space of the 3 years there's been anybody who was actually genuinely interested in me. You know, the fact that you have an audience, the fact that you're out there a little bit on social media doesn't automatically mean that there are going to be people out there who find you attractive or would be interested. They could be watching you for exactly the other reasons. You know, train crash viewing. Bloody hell, what's the fat drunken idiot doing now? Oh God, imagine having a bloke like that. So yeah, over the space of, there's been, yeah, flirtatious type chats and innuendo and whatnot, but I don't think anybody's been genuinely interested. Turning that on its head then, and kind of answering the original question, there hasn't been any element of romance or anything like that. As I say, I've not even been on a date during my YouTube time. However, there have been a couple of entirely one-sided episodes. Now, I mean, the one thing that I have gained through YouTube is an amazing, absolutely amazing circle of friends, and I deeply value all of them. And it's quite a wide circle, you know, both online and in real life. And yeah, I mean, I'm blessed to have some amazing friends, amazing people that are part of my life, and I love that. There have been a couple of occasions where, and I must stress, this has been entirely one-sided. Entirely one-sided. It was just a me thing. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Yeah, so last year I did fall for somebody, entirely one-sided. They weren't remotely interested in me, quite naturally, but there was kind of a one-sided thing where for a period of time I was a bit smitten, but yeah, it was entirely one-sided. Absolutely nothing happened. And then again this year, same thing happened. I fell for somebody and got a bit smitten, and again they're not interested, and again nothing has happened, and that is it. That is the sad actuality of my romantic status during my, whatever it is, 3 3/4 years of YouTubing, and it's the only period in my life where that has been so. Once I started my doings with the ladies of the opposite housey father, there's not been much of a break in between them. Only ever one at a time. I've never cheated, never been unfaithful, nothing like that, but you know, there was never much of a break. When I was dating, then I would date almost every night, and there was never that much of a gap in between relationships. Certainly nothing like 3 3/4 years. So yeah, it's kind of ironic that my YouTubings should span the period in my life that has been a desert in terms of romance. But yeah, the closest that I've got to romance over this period has been 2 entirely one-sided love affairs where I've fallen for somebody and it's been very much not reciprocated in any way, shape or form. So there you go. That was the original question. Is there anybody in your YouTube community to whom you would like to administer a substantive poddering? Well, historically, yes, there has been, and currently, yes, there is. Oh, I think it might have said Facebook as well. I think it might have mentioned Facebook as well. Well, look, on my Facebook friends, if we're including my Facebook friends, then there's a lot. There's a lot, because I've got some really fit Facebook friends. Oh God, I've got, I'm Facebook friends with female athletes all around the world who I know, or who know me, or who we know through mutual friends, or there are mutual connections. But that's entirely on a purely based on looks, old bloody Neanderthal. God, yeah, wouldn't mind having a go on that kind of thing. There's nobody amongst my Facebook friends that I am. It's a dodgy place to park. That I'm enamoured of, shall we say? But there you go. Right, that's that. That's enough of that nonsense. Right, well, as usual, thank you for listening to this barking nonsense, if indeed you have been. And if there's anything that you would like to ask me, or you would like to know, then shout it out in the comments, because God knows I'm going to need things to talk about in the future. But for now, thank you for your time and indulgence. Thank you for your company, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So on that note, toodle and indeed. Oh yes, pip. See you next time, darlings. Catch you tomorrow.
The YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Boaty.
Oh. You had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Boaty's such a great guy. Such a great guy. Very tall. Such a great guy. I wish Boaty was here in America with me right now.
You twat. Wanker.